Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Aaron KJ Marcus, and this is the first episode of Bad Advice from a Well-Intentioned Friend. This is the audio extension of my Substack, Almost in Between Tomorrow. Okay, so what the hell is this? Every now and then, I'll be digging into common life questions that people quietly wrestle with, meaning the emotional clutter, the work-life drain, the dream versus reality stuff, and all the embarrassing shit that nobody teaches you about. It'll be fun, it'll be honest, but most of all, it will be human. And we need more human in our lives, right? Today's episode is for all my working artists out there. And I don't mean people making a living off their art. I love you, of course, and I want to be you, but this ain't for you. I mean the vast, vast majority of us who are artists at heart, but cubicle jockeys by day, or tradespeople, or academics, caregivers, healthcare professionals. Any one of us who are paying the bills by doing shit we never wanted to do, but shit we must do. Put more succinctly, today's theme is how to survive work life as an artistic and or sensitive person when work life is indeed balls. Let's get right to it. Question number 1. What if I feel like my job is slowly killing my soul, but I need that fat paycheck to fund my self-publishing and, I don't know, I guess other things like feeding my kids? Okay, that's a great question, and let's not sugarcoat it. Sometimes work really does feel like a slow-motion soul extraction. And this is true for everyone, but I think it's especially true for creative types like us. But take heart, friend, you are not alone, and you're not weak for feeling this way. What you are is aware. You're awake. You're tuned into the dissonance between who you are and whatever the fuck you ended up doing to earn those golden handcuffs. And that's actually good. That means you're still you. And besides, if ignorance is bliss, take pride in knowing that at least you're not ignorant. But of course, you are in pain. The truth is, there is a kind of grief that comes from giving the best hours of your day to something that doesn't align with your dreams, those that you once had or that you still have. And it's okay to grieve that. The sorrow is by no means unearned, and you are not a snowflake for experiencing it. But that can't be your permanent day-to-day state either. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice, as they say. So, what action can we take? Well, look for openings where you can bring your authentic self into the workplace so you don't lose who you are just to survive where you are. That might mean the way you write emails, maybe you slip in some humor, a little spice, a sentence that sounds like you instead of some corporate fuckwit with a boner for mission-critical deliverables. Maybe you share something personal in a team meeting, not performatively, but as a reminder that people do have inner lives. And trust me, that kind of shit is contagious. It gives others permission to do the same too, and suddenly the workplace feels a lot more human. Okay, what else? So it could be your weird socks, your playlists, the way you decorate your desk, or how you show up for someone else when they're clearly having a shit day. You know, being there for others who are hurt has a strange effect of soothing your own pain or our own pain when we're in a workplace that's, really compressing us. And as a creative person, your natural empathy and compassion really get put to good use in these situations and in a way that they never could on that shitty spreadsheet that your boss dumped on you at 4:45 on a Friday. These are small things, but they're not meaningless. They're signals to yourself that you still exist inside the world and that you're not just some anonymous cog in an anonymous machine. You might not be able to escape your job tomorrow. I mean, fuck, who wouldn't want to probably escape their job tomorrow? But we can refuse to let it own us. And trust me, your soul isn't gone, even though some days it might feel that way. It's just harder to see under fluorescent lights. Okay, let's get to the next question. Question number 2. How do I stop feeling like I'm falling behind everyone else? How does every other person seem to have their shit together and I'm just a pile of congealed immaturity and frightened tears? Another good question. Who is writing these bangers? You must be hot. There are a lot of crises in the world right now. Political bullshit, income inequality, the environment. But an ever-growing wildfire that fucks with almost all of us, especially the creative ones among us, is the crisis of comparison. This has existed from the dawn of time, I'm sure, when one dude put a cave painting in his home and made all the other cave people feel like they were cave people without cool paintings. Today, in the context of work, maybe you scroll past someone's LinkedIn post and they're finally launching their dream project. And you, on the other hand, are sitting in your car making a string cheese octopus for lunch and you're fighting off an anxiety attack. Quick sidebar here. I hate most social media, but LinkedIn has a special place in hell for the amount of secondhand embarrassment it forces one to endure. That's all. I just had to get that out of the way. Okay, back to business. Here's the secret that everybody knows, but rarely talks about. It's that almost all of us feel like we're way behind where we want it to be, way behind the person sitting next to us. Even the ones who feel like they're winning probably feel like they're getting their asses handed to them by someone else. It's also worth remembering that a lot of the success we see others having is just self-promotion. We're seeing the highlight reels of people who are, more often than not, just as insecure and unsure of themselves as we are. Maybe even more so, and that's why they're compensating. So instead of measuring your life against someone else's curated timeline, try asking, what does meaningful progress look like for me this week? Not this year, not in 5 years, but this week. Make it immediate. One tiny thing that makes you feel more you. But as an artistic person trying to navigate the workplace, this can be tricky because what's progress to you will not look like Chad's progress, because he's a corporate climbing sociopath. Your progress is more internal in terms of how you feel relative to the world around you, and external in how productive you are relative to the goals you have set for yourself in your off hours. So in our case, not only is comparison bullshit, it's not even apples to apples comparison. And you know why? Because you're a starfruit, baby. In summary, falling behind is a myth maintained by systems that profit from either your hate-filled envy clicks, your burnout, or both. Probably both. You're not behind. You're just building something real, and real takes time. Also, fuck Chad. All right, moving along. Question number 3. This will be the last question. How do I stop taking everything personally at work? For example, someone just said, as per my email to me, and I almost combusted with murderous rage and imagined myself dining on their fat fucking face. Okay, to start, I think it's important we begin with a low-hanging fruit. Faces are really chewy. If you're going to feast on a colleague after they send you a passive-aggressive email, it's best to gorge on chunks of ass. But the heart of the question is even meatier. How to avoid taking things personally when our extra-large hearts are right there on our sleeve. Okay, here's the thing. When you're a sensitive or intuitive person, you notice stuff. You don't just hear what someone says, you catch the sigh between sentences, the clipped tone in the email, the raised eyebrow on the Zoom call, the patient who just died because of the medical device you left inside them. You are tuned like a jazz piano. You pick up every note. And that means, sometimes that shit that bounces off of others stabs right into us and cuts deep. Sometimes it provokes us to overreaction in the moment, but that's pretty rare. Most of the time, it just internally simmers and rots us from the inside out until at last we're bitter, brittle husks of our former selves. Here, you might think I'm going to tell you to toughen the hell up. But no, I'm actually going to tell you to lean into your strengths. Curiosity and compassion specifically. Use those traits to reconsider the data that you're taking in, sending you into fits of rage and despair and self-isolation. What you're picking up might be real, but it's not always yours to bear. Not every vibe in a meeting, good or bad, is about you, even though it's tempting to take it that way. Some people are just grumpy but well-meaning fucks. Others are probably pissed off for some other reason that has nothing to do with you, but it landed with you because of their tone of voice or their choice of words. But most often, like 80%, I'm totally making up this statistic often, you're dealing with someone who sucks at interpersonal communication. Yes, that seemingly bullshit skill we all say we're awesome at on a resume turns out to be really difficult for most people. To the point that in my 20-ish years of professional work experience, it is vanishingly rare to see someone with true interpersonal skills who can navigate the different personalities of their colleagues and match their energy accordingly. This is made worse by the language of most workplaces. Nobody speaks at home the way they talk at work, and this code switching means people who probably suck at communicating in their personal lives are now sucking twice as hard in work speak. So they end up relying on infuriating bullshit cliches like the earlier example of as per my email. But you, my creative, artistic, sensitive friend, will know better the next time how to deal with these people. They are trying hard, they're doing their best, and they suck at it. But that's no reason for you to take it inside your gigantic, wide open, spongy, triple absorbent heart. Okay. Well, we got through 3 questions together, and that's a wrap for episode 1. So if you're feeling too soft for the workplace or too imaginative for the grind, just know that you are not alone. The system wasn't built with people like us in mind, but that doesn't mean we don't belong, and it certainly doesn't mean that we can't thrive. You can be sensitive and strong, creative and grounded, funny and frustrated, all of it. You get to be all of it. Anyway, I won't ramble on, but thank you so much for listening to Bad Advice from a Well-Intentioned Friend. If you like what you heard, consider subscribing to my Substack, Almost in Between Tomorrow, or just tell someone about it. Word of mouth is gold for me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next episode. In the meantime, be kind to yourself, weirdo. The world needs more of you, not less.